Hello everyone and welcome to the Mental Race where Speedway Sedan's Australian National Street Stock title coming to you live from the B&S Earthworks Timber Speedway. We're down in the crowd and getting ready for a start in the national title for 2019. Jason Crow with you once again this weekend for Speedway Sedan's Live, courtesy of Ash Media Speedway footage. And as you can see, a good crowd is starting to build in as we get ready for the Grand Parade, which is about half an hour away, and then we'll have racing in an hour's time. Well, it's going to be a really big weekend. We've got 131 drivers to go around this weekend, and I can tell you now, after seeing practice yesterday, it is really wide open as to who is going to take this out. Yesterday, it was Troy Russell from Tasmania who was the quickest car. He was only out there for about 3 laps, and he was the quickest after 2.5 hours of practice. There was only 0.006 of a second between him and the second place car, which was Matt Nelson from Victoria. Let's have a look at our format, as we always do, to tell you what is going to happen this weekend. And I can tell you with the format, it is no different to what it always is. It doesn't matter that we've got 131 drivers. There's going to be 81 of them that don't make a final. Tonight we're going to see 33 qualifying heats, and then we'll have another 11 heats tomorrow night. So the way it works out for heats per driver, 3 heats tonight, 1 heat tomorrow night, and then we'll have the C, B and A main. The C main, as always, will be qualifiers 33 through 50. The top 2 in that will go to the back of the B. The B main will be qualifiers 17 to 32 plus the 2 from the C main. That race will be 20 laps, and the main race of the night will be 40 laps. The automatic qualifiers are 1 to 16, with the first 4 from the B going into the A. So it's going to be a really big weekend, as it always is. We've been here a few times before where we've had issues with weather. No problems there. It's about 28 degrees at the moment, and it's going to fine weather for the rest of the weekend. Let's have a look at the schedule. Well, the schedule's an easy one tonight. The schedule is 33 qualifying heats. Event 1 is Heat 1, Event 2 is Heat 2, and right through to Event 33, which will be Heat 33 just after 11 o'clock tonight, all going well with no issues. So that's the format for tonight. As we now look at the competitors for tonight's program, and the bulk of them, 71 of them, are from Victoria. And as we scroll through the list, we can tell you that there's Brad McClure there in car number 24, one of the prominent drivers. Brad has won the national title on 2 occasions. Matt Nelson, who was second quickest last night, will be driving car number 64. As we go right through the list, there's the Victoria 81 of Dylan Campton. 101 is Lee Gooding. As we scroll the page and go down, you can see there's a massive list of Victorian drivers. After that, from Queensland, there's only a small field, but Nathan Barbler is there. Robert Trapp is the Queensland champion. It must be said that all the champions are in the field this weekend, so all the state champions and the national champion are there, so that's the first time that has happened. From South Australia, a pretty strong lineup. Anthony Bear is from South Australia. Also, Andy Maxwell Jr. is in the field in car 132. He went okay yesterday. And also Jaden Edwards in car number 87 will be one to watch out for. From the Northern Territory, Justin Frumfield is in the field along with Alan Spence. They'll represent the NT. From ACT, there's just the one driver, which is that, of course, of Colin Peden in ACT 3. From Tasmania, a great field of Tasmanians, 15 of them, in fact, are with us this weekend. And, well, in one race you'll see later on tonight, there'll be 7 of them in the one race. So have a look at that list there. 7 of them, nearly half of them are going to be in the one heat. They may as well have just had it as a Tasmanian heat altogether. From WA, we've got 14 drivers that have made the trek across the Nullarbor, and it includes the newly crowned WA champion in Jack Barnwell. He's part of that field. Jamie Oldfield is also there, along with Jason Oldfield. Between them, they've won 5 West Australian titles, with Jamie, of course, winning 2 national titles. Also in that group is Michael Hammond, who's won 2 national titles as well. And then from New South Wales, we've got Casey Staker, and it's also there Reese Heinrich, South Australian, driving the New South Wales 111 car. So that is the format, that is the schedule, and they are the competitors taking part this weekend. We're about 25 minutes away now from the Grand Parade. I can tell you, as you can see behind us, the crowd is really starting to build up, and the grass banks behind us are going to be chock-a-block by the time we get underway in about an hour's time with the first of those 33 qualifying heats. So cars now coming out on track for the Grand Parade, headed by the South Australian 4 times national street stock champion Anthony Bear, New South Wales 111 Casey Staker, 121 is of course Mark Jennings, Brad McClure, Robbie Foe, Jamie Oldfield, all the national champions coming out first. Then we'll have the state champions. The New South Wales champion is Jason Jewell. The West Australian champion is Jack Barnwell. And Robert Trapp from Queensland, the Queensland champion, making his way out as well. So I'll come into the heavy bit here and they'll start packing it down. There will be a traffic jam shortly. So Anthony Bear leads them through, the national champion 4 times over. He's won the last couple. Mark Jennings won this event, well, a long time ago now, back in the 90s. Brad McClure has won on this very venue in overtime on a Monday. As we pan back through the track, it's Corey Sando, one of the local hopes and favourites this weekend, has finished on the podium as late as last year even. Lee Gooding in 101. It is heavy going here in the main straight. Very heavy going, unfortunately, for a couple of them. Matt Nelson in 64, Peter Bryant in 6, Evan Wakefield coming through in 91 from Western Australia. And it's Matthew Lyons in 57 who's having the trouble here in the main straight. It's heavy going down low coming out of turn number 4. Trevor Logan in 23, Morris Ahern in 154, Todd Rose in 21. The skyline is out there of Jamie Collins. Tim Humby in 62, 102 from Western Australia is Hamish McKelpine. AJ Lawrence in 55, Chris Hay in 42. They are struggling here in the main straight, unfortunately, in the heavy going. Jason DeGoldie in 27, Heath Thorne in 52 from South Australia, Matt Glab in 57, Andrew Burgoyne in 13, Shane Roycroft and Paul Hayes going sideways in the main straight trying to get through. It is going to be an issue when they start forming up. There's Jamie Crutchley in 25. Wade Fell coming through in 79. Robert Locke in 147. 4 wide they'll be. And they are struggling here in the main straight, so it is going to be an issue, this Grand Parade. It's not going to be an easy one. And it's probably going to get awfully messy, unfortunately, with the heavy going here in the main straight only. Mick Clark in 48, Jason Oldfield in 95, Ricky Throckmorton going sideways here in the front straight. So too Marty Kelly. He's nosed into the fence, in fact. So all the cars coming out for this Grand Parade. And wise move, they're going to put them on the infield. That might be the best thing.
So the remaining cars will go onto the infield and run on the infield, from what I'm understanding. The main straight here, you can't drive on it, and unfortunately it's way too heavy. Cars continuing to come out. So it's going to maybe be 5 or 6 wide, the Grand Parade. So we get cars on the infield as well. The main straight, the track is too heavy to drive on, so they are going to be on the infield part of the track. The Tasmanians now forming up on the infield. Corey Jetson in car 137 behind Ben Riley in 54. And they continue to pour out the gate. Kerry Weston over on the back straight, 117. Scrolling down, we've only got 69 that have passed the transponder timing loop at the moment, and the rest of them on the back straight. There's Matt Atkinson coming out. He's had some mechanical issues over the course of the weekend. And there we go. Gate closing. 131 cars now on track behind the pace car. Before we get started, how about putting hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for everyone who's made their way around Australia for this national title. One of them, tomorrow night, will be the national champion. Here we go. 4 wide. I'm not quite sure how this is going to go. We're going to need the cars in turn 4. To go rather quickly through there, and it's not going to work, I don't think. Particularly now that we're going to have a couple go sideways and backwards. And Peter Thompson is going to throw it in reverse in front of a couple. Just getting word through on Matt Atkinson, literally just finished the engine swap on the car. So the main straight is a mess here at the moment, unfortunately, and it's going to take a while to sort out and guarantee event 1 won't start at 4:45. As our back markers come through. And the wise move here is the cars will be going onto the infield while they sort out the main straight. The rest of the track is okay. It's just very heavy here in the main straight. So the Mental Raceway pace car comes down and they'll come back out on track here at the finish line. Some West Australians need to check this merging out coming out of turn number 4. West Australians are the worst mergers in the world. And while we've got the cars rolling around down on tracks, time to say good afternoon for the first time to my co-commentator for the weekend, Daniel Andrews. Druz, down there, we've got a ceremony to take place underneath the Mental Raceway dais.
Yeah, thanks, Jason. It's good to be here at B&S Earthworks Timber Speedway for the Mental Raceway National Street Stock title. I'm down here with Bob Wakefield, who is the Grand Marshal. Sorry, I just forgot that. He's going to declare this meeting open as of right now. There we go, the ribbon cutting. The event is now officially open. The Mental Raceway 2019 National Street Stock title. Back up to you.
Thanks very much, Druz. And Bob Wakefield, one of the all-time legends of street stock racing. In fact, placed here in a national title. Been told online only Bustleton drivers don't know how to merge. That's a early dig at me. So we'll be back shortly. They'll only do one more lap and then they'll have to go back to the pits to get ready for the first event. But take your photos if you're watching online. It is quite the sight, even though it's a little bit all over the place as we get ready and get closer to the first event. They come into the main straight. 12 laps the journey for each and every one of these races. Plenty of support for every driver on track. Heat 1 of the national title about to come your way. All about set for a dispatch with the 37 of Atkinson to get them away. They're 3 and 4 wide down the main straight through the messy bit as they move down into turn number 1. Daryl Atkinson leads them from Jason to Goldie. So they come past us the first time, back then to Robert Locke and Darren Flatman. Also coming into the picture is Kerry Weston. Jason de Goldie's gone back to 5th place. And Jason Oldfield has moved his way up into 6 as they move out of 4. Daryl Atkinson has gone from the curb to the fence. Locke is in 2nd place. Down low is Darren Flatman. Jason Oldfield making all the moves at the moment. He started out of position number 11. He's up into 5th or 6th place. Mick Clark is there with him as they move out of turn number 2 and down the back straight. Oldfield goes under Clark. There's another car coming underneath of Oldfield as well as they move out of turn 3 and 4. That's Dale Morrison. Morrison moves into 4th. Atkinson the leader. 2nd place is the 72 of Darren Flatman, who started out of 5. And Darren Flatman is a bit of a mudlark. He's gone into the lead as they move out of turn number 2. Back to Kerry Weston, then Morrison. On the outside is Craig Clark, and Dale Morrison's doing a tremendous job from position 7 up to 3. On the outside is Mick Clark. Jason Oldfield's up there in 6th place. Kerry Weston fights back as they come through the main straight. Darren Flatman just in front. Back in second place, it's Daryl Atkinson. Third place on the outside is Mick Clark. Back there to Kerry Weston. They're 3 wide for the lead. It's Flatman from South Australia, Mick Clark from Victoria. Back there to Daryl Atkinson. Here comes Dale Morrison yet again. Kerry Weston is there. We're going to have a lung buster to start the entire night off. We've got 600 laps to go in this national title, as we've done 4 laps, and we've got still 605 laps left to go to get a new national champion. At the moment, it's Mick Clark who's taken up the running. Back in second place, it's a 72 car of Darren Flatman. Morrison down low on the track is third. Then the veteran Kerry Weston. Back in fifth place, Daryl Atkinson, then back to Jason Oldfield in sixth place. Seventh place after that would be the 103 car of Sean Henry. Then we've got Scott Mason, Robert Lockdale, Riley, Corey Jensen, and Jason DeGoldie is at the tail of the field. Well, second last behind only one car is that of Corey Jensen. Into the main straight they come. The race leader is Mick Clark in car number 48. Second place is that of Morrison. Third place is Darren Flatman, then Kerry Weston. Kerry Weston comes underneath and takes third place away from Darren Flatman with a bit of a hip and shoulder at the end of the main straight. Back then to Jason Oldfield, who tries to come underneath of Flatman, and also Kerry Weston, and then back then to Daryl Atkinson. Out of turn 4 they come again. 5 laps to go in the opening heat for Mick Clark. Second place is that of Morrison. Third place, Kerry Weston, then Darren Flatman. Jason Oldfield trying his best. They're in fifth place with Atkinson. And now Sean Henry coming into the picture. Further back in the field is car number 83, Scott Mason, then Dale Riley. And then we've got Jason DeGoldie. And the last car running, unfortunately, is... where is he? He's on the infield now, which is 137 of Corey Jensen. 4 laps to go though for Mick Clark. They're doing 22-second circulations, 5 seconds slower than they were yesterday in official practice, but the track will get quicker as they move down into the heats that follow this one. Kerry Weston still in third place. Fourth place is a 72 car of Darren Flatman, then back to Sean Henry. Jason Oldfield there in sixth place, and then Daryl Atkinson. The passing flag has already started coming out from downstairs. Our race leader is Mick Clark, leads this one at the moment. Mick Clark out in front. Second place is Dale Morrison, 40-year-old truck driver in second place. Back then to Kerry Weston in third. Fourth place is the 72 car of Darren Flatman. Jason Oldfield on the outside is Sean Henry. So move out of turn number 2 and down the back straight. 2 laps to go for our race leader, Mick Clark. He'll come up this time and greet the white flag for the first time in anger. They move out of turn 3 and 4. Mick Clark will come into the main straight and greet the white flag. There it is. Put out ever so proficiently for the first time tonight. 33 more times to go before we get the checkered flag. Second place still belongs to Dale Morrison, then Kerry Weston, Darren Flatman, then Sean Henry and Jason Oldfield. A couple of cars smoking rather badly towards the back of the field. One of them is Dale Riley Jr. Checkered flag at the ready, and heat number 1 will go the way of Mick Clark. Mick Clark first across the line in car number 48. Second will go the way of Morrison in 134, Dale Morrison. Kerry Weston third. Fourth is going to be close. Darren Flatman, Sean Henry, Jason Oldfield. Back then in seventh place, Daryl Atkinson, Scott Mason, Dale Riley and Robert Locke. 4 minutes 33.633 for the 12 laps. The winning margin 3.569. The quick lap was 22.001 by Dale Morrison, who was in second place. Kerry Weston was third, and your winner was Mick Clark. All about set for a start. Well, heat 2's not going anywhere. Yellow lights are on, so it's an untidy start to the program. Heat 2, so the first, the way it works out, the first 9 heats will have full fields of 12. Heat 10 will have 11 cars, and Heat 11 will also have 12. All about set for a dispatch. Heat number 2 into the main straight. The green lights have come on. And it's Nathan Russell who leads them down the main straight the first time. Brad Thompson in second place. Back in third place, it's car 162, Philip Watson. So move down the back straight the first time, then Eugene Bennett in fourth. Back in fifth place, it's car 116, Brian Brown. On the outside, it's going to be car number 49 of Sean Jenkins, but our race leader, the Tasmanian champion, has blown the doors off them. He's got right away down into turn 1 and 2. Back in second place, it's Phil Watson, Eugene Bennett, Brad Thompson fourth, Brian Brown, Sean Jenkins. 143, Stephen Petrie is out of noise, and he's OUT out, he's on the grass. Robert Trapp, the Queensland champion's a long way back at this point in time, but he makes it 3 wide underneath of Brian Brown as they come into the main straight, picks up a couple of spots. As Sean Jenkins goes wide, the 98 car is in there as well. As they head down into turn number 2, they are still 3 wide. Jenkins the widest of them all. Our race leader though is from Tasmania. Out in front, Nathan Russell, the Tasmanian champion, leads down the main straight. The inquiry flag is about to come out, and I wouldn't be surprised if it comes out on Robert Trapp. It is. The Queensland champion, car number 73, has been given the inquiry flag by the officials. So they start to spread themselves out. Out in front, Nathan Russell has a handy lead. There'll be 8 laps to go this time around. Back in second place, it is car number 162, Phil Watson. Third place is that of car number 19, Eugene Bennett. Fourth place, the 56 car of Bradley Thompson. Then in fifth place, the 98 car. As they move down, that's Robbie Fisher. Another one retires, the 49 of Sean Jenkins has given up the ghost. As they come down the main straight, 123 out in front. Nathan Russell leads this one through. Back in second place, it's car number 162, Phil Watson. Third place is Eugene Bennett, then Dylan Campton. Dylan Campton started out of position 10 to make his way up to fourth. Brad Thompson there in fifth. Brian Brown is next, then Robert Trapp. Then the 94 of Alan Spence from the Northern Territory. And there's 2 cars after that. And the last of those is that of Todd Rose. Our race leaders through once again, 6 down and 6 to go. So they start to spread out like brown cows in heat number 2. It's Nathan Russell out in front, Phil Watson giving chase. A gap back then to Eugene Bennett, then Dylan Campton. Brad Thompson 5th, Brian Brown is 6th, and then Robert Trapp in 7th. Brown makes a move now, moves underneath and takes 5th place as our race leader comes through again. The Yellows will have to come on with a car stranded up there in turn number 4. It was the car that was in second place. And Phil Watson has a problem.
Yeah, Jason, just from the infield, you can see the tyres are pointed straight into the wall, so I reckon he's had a front-end steering rack or something let go in that thing. The right-hand front tyre is just pointing directly into the concrete wall.
So this is heat number 2, has a stoppage, 6 down and 6 to go. Five-year-old electrician in 6th place. Queensland champion of Robert Trapp in 7th. And at the back of the field is Alan Spence from the NT. We're halfway home in heat number 2. We're back underway. And Nathan Russell will lead them through the track. It's a lot smoother down here in the main straight now than it was. It's been packed down nicely. Eugene Bennett is keeping Nathan Russell company now out in front. They're 3 wide for 3rd place. Brad Thompson went from 3rd to 5th. Brian Brown has gone right out near the concrete wall. Going into 3rd now is Dylan Campton. Can Brown fight back? The answer is yes. As they move down into turn number 1 and 2 going clockwise. Brown on the outside of Campton. Meanwhile, Nathan Russell has split the scene again. Campton and Brown are actually closing on Eugene Bennett. Back then to Brad Thompson in 5th place. Alan Spence 6th. Then Robert Trapp and Todd Rose into the main straight with 4 laps to go. The last time around was a 21.8, sorry, 21.8 was the best time for Nathan Russell. So the times are coming down. Brian Brown cleaning the fence up there in turn number 2. Goes back to 4th place as he fights on with Dylan Campton for that position. Then Thompson, Spence, then back to Robert Trapp and Todd Rose. Into the main straight, another lap put together. Our race leader is car 123, Nathan Russell. This is the national street stock title from the Timmins Speedway in Mildura. Nathan Russell is just in front of Eugene Bennett, who's coming back at our race leaders, back to 3 car lengths. Back in third place, the Victorian Dylan Campton, then the South Australian Brian Brown. Eugene Bennett is really closing on our race leader. The Tasmanian still in front. 2 laps to go in heat number 2 of the national title. Past this big crowd here in the main straight. Eugene Bennett making a big fist of it now as the race leader is making a hash of turn number 1 and 2. Bennett though did the same, and Dylan Campton will go to second place. So Dylan Campton makes his way to second after starting from position number 10. Out comes the white flag. We're homeward bound in heat 2. Out in front it is car number 123, Nathan Russell. He's out in front from Dylan Campton and Eugene Bennett. The white flag is on display. Then back to Brian Brown. 5th place is Alan Spence. Then back to Robert Trapp in 6th. Todd Rose, and the last car running is 56. And that, of course, is Brad Thompson. But here's the checkered flag, and it's going to be a Tasmanian victory. Put your hands together for him from Tasmania, the Tasmanian champion. 1, 2, 3, Nathan Russell, his first time. Great drive by Dylan Campton for second. Eugene Bennett, then Brian Brown. 5th place will go to Alan Spence from the NT. 6th place is Robert Trapp. 7th place will go to the 21 car of Todd Rose, just ahead of Brad Thompson. The last 3 cars have all got the bumpers hanging off the back of them in a rough old affair. No time for the race due to the stoppage. 1.723 the winning margin. The quick lap at 21.845 by Nathan Russell. He defeats Dylan Campton and Eugene Bennett.
Down here with heat number 2 winner Nathan Russell. Nathan, mate, Tasmanian champion. You've come over to the mainland to compete in the national title, mate. Must be good to get that win straight off the bat.
Yeah, we had a few issues last night with the engine, so she's nothing special. But to come back with that heat win straight off the bat, I'm pretty happy with that. So.
And just lastly, mate, what do you think of the track there? It was a little bit juicy there, but it's starting to come in as the races go on.
Yeah, she's a little bit juicy, but we'll see how it goes later on in the night.
No worries, we won't hold you up. We'll let you get back in the pits and get this car all sorted out, and good luck for the rest of the night.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
A lot of people sending in pictures of how they're watching this coverage. All about set for dispatch. 12 cars to go around in heat number 3 of the national title in front of a really big crowd here in the main straight. Great to see you all here as we get underway, and the Tasmanians are taking over. Stephen Harvey leads them down the main straight, leads down into turn number 1 as they go clockwise. Neville Nitschke from South Australia in second place, a 2-time national champion. Jamie Oldfield there in third, and fourth is the 5-time Tasmanian champion in Troy Russell. He's there in 4th place as they move out of turn number 4. Neville Nitschke out after our race leader, which is Stephen Harvey. So Stephen Harvey leads lap number 1. He got 3rd last year in the Tasmanian title. He's been 3rd in the last 2 Tasmanian titles, actually. Neville Nitschke in 2nd place from Loxton in South Australia. Then Jamie Oldfield in 3rd place, who's been racing for the best part of 30 years. Started as a 10-year-old, and he's done so much ever since. He's won 2 national titles, he's won 2 state titles in Western Australia, now moves up on the outside of Neville Nitschke. Troy Russell is going to come underneath him at the same time, 3 of them battling it out for 2nd, 3rd and 4th place. Back in 5th place, it's 119 of Matt Crawford. Further back in the field, we've got another couple of cars that are going to put themselves in the fence almost. Now they come back down, and Peter Thompson, one of those that got collected. Paul Briggs has passed 3 cars from the back of the field as they move into the main straight. Out in front, Stephen Harvey. He leads in car number 9 from Troy Russell. The Tasmanians 1 and 2. The 67 car of Corey Knox has been sent right off the racetrack. Hasn't got back on the racetrack yet. As they move out of turn 3 and 4 this time around, there'll be 8 laps to go in heat number 3 of the national title, and it's Stephen Harvey out in front. Stephen Harvey leads this one down into turn number 1. Back to Troy Russell. The Tasmanians are 1 and 2. Jamie Oldfield 3rd, Neville Nitschke 4th. And then it's a cut lunch and a water bag back to the rest of them, headed by the 67 of Corey Knox. 119 coming underneath of him now is Matt Crawford. Also there is Peter Thompson. That's where the main body of the field is. And at the back of that main body of the field is Paul Briggs. They're 3 wide for about 8th, 9th and 10th place as our leader comes back with us once again. Stephen Harvey nearly runs off the racetrack, right up near the concrete wall. Troy Russell in 2nd place and Jamie Oldfield 3rd. As they head down the back, Neville Nitschke 4th. Then the main body of the field's just coming into 1 and 2. They'll have a lap car in front of them shortly as our race leader has come back to Troy Russell and Jamie Oldfield. Harvey just in front now. 6 laps to go, 6 down and 6 to go. Russell in 2nd place, Jamie Oldfield 3rd as they battle the man and machine out of turn number 2, and Neville Nitschke is right there with them. Back then to Knox in 5th place, the 119 of Matt Crawford is 6th. Back then in 7th place, the 33 car of Nathan Dunn as they come out of turn 4 again. Here's the passing flag, the lap car, and Jamie Oldfield comes underneath it. Troy Russell moves into 2nd place. Russell back to 3rd. So go under Knox. Hip and shoulder is Knox's half-track eye, and the car slid straight into Knox on that occasion as Stephen Harvey's not on the racetrack. Rejoins now. Troy Russell goes back underneath it. Jamie Oldfield. The lap's starting to tick by. They come out of Pitts Bend once again. Stephen Harvey in front. Back to Troy Russell, Jamie Oldfield, and in 4th place, it's Neville Nitschke. Oldfield has a flat tyre, so he's got a flat left-hand tyre. He'll race on, there's no doubt about that. As they move out of turn number 2, he can drive a busted wheelbarrow, and he's going to feel like he's driving one now with that flat tyre. As he heads down the back straight, the race continues. There is 3 laps to go. It's Tasmania 1 and 2. Which way they finish is still anybody's guess. It's Stephen Harvey in front from Troy Russell. They move down into turn 1 and 2. The mechanical defect flag has been brought out on Jamie Oldfield, and he will be out of the race. He pulls to the infield. Oh, look at the 67 car. It's gone up in smoke. Corey Knox has sent out a white smoke screen. Back to our race leaders with 2 to go. It's going to be a Tasmania Quinella. It's just debatable which way it's going to finish. Stephen Harvey still in front. The 67 car, look at the smoke emitted from that. It's not humanly possible. He's moved into 4th place, but no one else can see. They head down the back straight, the leaders. Look at that, the 67 car. Oh my goodness gracious. That's Corey Knox. Nathan Dunn is just in the smoke screen at the moment. Back to the leaders. The white flag comes out. Harvey by a car length on Troy Russell. Then back to Neville Nitschke in 3rd place. There's no white smoke left on Corey Knox's car, and Nathan Dunn's got no idea where he's going. They come out of turn 2, down the back straight the final time. It's Harvey and Russell to fight this one out. Down into turn 3 and 4 the final time. The 5-time state champion to come underneath of Harvey. He does, coming out of turn 4. Troy Russell and Stephen Harvey, a drag race. Harvey, Russell, and it's Harvey. Harvey by half a car length. Back in 3rd place will be Neville Nitschke, and Corey Knox is going to somehow prevail in 4th. There is that much white smoke going around the racetrack. It's unbelievable. Poor old Nathan Dunn has lost all visibility. 5th place will go to 119 in the end, Matt Crawford. 6th place will go to Andrew Jordan. Paul Briggs is up for 7th. Then Nathan Dunn, Peter Thompson and Kayla Knox. Jamie Oldfield and Dylan Wilkinson didn't complete the distance. 4:34.976 for the 12 laps. The winning margin was 0.118 of a second. Stephen Harvey defeats Troy Russell and Neville Nitschke in heat number 3.
Down here with heat number 3 winner Stephen Harvey. The Tasmanians have taken over, mate. That's a great way to start off your campaign.
Yeah, mate, probably one of the most untidiest wins I've ever had, but we got there in the end. Bit of a challenging track, like 1 minute you don't have grip, the next you do, and then it throws you, so yeah, still a bit of getting used to, but we'll get there hopefully.
And that last corner, Troy Russell come underneath you. Did you know he was there?
Yeah, I could hear him the lap before when I did the same thing, so yeah, no, I knew he was there.
No worries, we won't hold you up. We'll let you get back in the pits and get yourself sorted out. Good luck for the rest of the weekend, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Yes, there was a relegation in that last race, which was Matt Crawford relegated 2 spots, which elevated Paul Briggs up to 6th place. As they move into the main straight, the green lights come on. We're away with heat number 4, and Ethan Genev leads them down into turn 1 as we go the traditional way this time around. Dean Jenkins in 2nd place in car number 4. So head down the back straight the first time. Back then to Annie Maxwell Senior in 3rd place, and then in 4th place would be Ben Riley in car number 54 as they move out of turn 4 the first time. Jenkins looking to come underneath Ethan Genev and does so. Maxwell Jr. 3rd, Riley in 4th place, and back to Bailey Heinrich in 5th. Ethan Genev almost spins himself out down there in turn number 2. Behind Bailey Heinrich would be the 2017 WA champion Hayden Norman. The Nissan Skyline went very sideways out of turn 2. That was Jamie Collins. He lost 3 spots, and Matt Hammond came through along with 2 others. One of those was Mick Dan, and the other was Batman at 61 of Blomley as they move down the back straight once again. Dean Jenkins out in front. Heat number 4 of the national title. 2nd place is Ethan Genev. Back in 3rd place, it's still Andy Maxwell Senior. Down low on the track is Bailey Heinrich. He moves into 3rd place now, the South Australian, but Maxwell Senior fights back. Hayden Norman moves up into 5th place now. Back in 6th place is the 54 of Ben Riley. So move down the back straight. A great battle for third place at the moment between those two cars, Bailey Heinrich, and on the outside, Andy Maxwell Sr. Dean Jenkins still in front though from Ethan Genev. Back then to Heinrich in third, Maxwell Sr., then Hayden Norman. Riley is next, and making his way right through the field is Mick Dan from the back. He's up there into 7th place at the moment. Mick Dan, the 2008 Victorian champion. Back then to Matt Hammond in car number 10, he's in 8th place. So the 4 cars out in the lead 4 spots are separated by even margins at the moment. Dean Jenkins still in front with 7 to go, leads by 0.9 of a second. 71 car of Andy Maxwell Sr. has given up the ghost. So head down the back straight. It's now a race in 3 as Ethan Genev has caught Dean Jenkins yet again. Back in 3rd place, it's Bailey Heinrich as they move into the main straight. And it's a 3-way go, and there's going to be lap traffic very quickly, which Matt Glabb is going to be that driver. So move out of turn number 2. Jenkins, Genev, and Bailey Heinrich move out of turn number 2 and down the back straight. And I can tell you now, it's going to be on for young and old in a moment. They're going to have to go the outside. Are they on Matt Glabb? They are. Matt Glabb now comes off the curb. Ethan Genev decides to come on the inside, so too does Heinrich. Passing flag is out, and the passing flag's going to get a workout tonight. Down into turn 1 and 2, Genev fights back on Dean Jenkins. They almost get hooked up, and Bailey Heinrich makes his move, comes underneath of Ethan Genev, and is going to come underneath of Dean Jenkins as well. Jenkins is just able to shut the door as they come into the main straight. There'll be 4 laps to go, but he's out off the curb, and Heinrich is going to sweep down on the inside. Bailey Heinrich is going to take up the running. He come out of position number 10, and Bailey Heinrich has come underneath and taken on Jamie Collins in the skyline. Moves away now from Dean Jenkins and Ethan Genev in 3rd place. Back there to Mick Dan, who's come from the very back of the field up to 4th. He's past Hayden Norman, who runs in 5th place, and the inquiry flag is coming out as well. That's come out several times already as well, and it might be coming out to one of the leaders. We'll wait and see. We've got 3 laps to go, 2.5 now, as Dean Jenkins is back in front. Jenkins is back in front. The yellow lights have come on. Ethan Genev has come to grief. He's up there on turn number 2 and hasn't moved, and we've got ourselves a stoppage.
You've got the 124 car of Ethan Genev has come to a stop there in turn number 1 and 2. He's got the car mobile now. The McCafe Collie EL Falcon of Ethan Genev. So that'll put Bailey Heinrich back at the front of the field with that.
McDan in 2nd place, Heinrich 3rd, Hayden Norman 4th, Ben Riley 5th, Matt Hammond 6th. Green lights are on, the green flag is out, away we go on this restart. Jenkins from the wily character that is 129. McDan put a media ban on us during the week. So move down the back straight. I'm sure he'll talk if he wins. Back in 3rd place, Bailey Heinrich. 4th place is Hayden Norman, then back to Ben Riley and Matt Hammond. Into the main straight with 2 to go. Jenkins and 129 lead them down the main straight underneath the time clock. Back in 3rd place, Bailey Heinrich, and then back in 4th is Hayden Norman. Ben Riley is next, Matt Hammond, Ethan Genev. So move down into turn number 3. Brock goes for the white flag downstairs. 1 lap to go. The side panels are hanging off Dean Jenkins' car. He's going to have to hang on a bit longer because here come the challengers, Bailey Heinrich and 129 of Mick Dan. Back to Hayden Norman in 4th place. Jenkins just in front. Mick Dan's going to get a great run here. He thought momentarily about going the inside. Jenkins goes in pretty quickly. So too does Mick Dan and also Bailey Heinrich, and Jenkins is going to prevail. Jenkins by 2 car lengths, Dan, Heinrich and then Norman. 5th place will go the way of Ben Riley, 6th then to Matt Hammond. 7th place will go the way of 61 Dale Blomley. 8th place will go to Ethan Genev in car 124. Then Jamie Collins and Matt Glabb. No time for the race due to the stoppage, 0.523 the winning margin. The quick lap was a 21.357 by Mick Dan. But it's Dean Jenkins, Mick Dan and Bailey Heinrich, your top 3.
Down here with heat winner Dean Jenkins. Dino, mate, you look like you're pretty puffed. You had to work hard for that one. The car was a bit of a handful.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a handful, mate, and we just had to keep sticking at it and persist. I knew that there would have been somebody right behind us, and Bailey Heinrich got me, mate, and we were lucky enough to get him back, so take that one.
No worries, mate. Well said. Just crew and sponsors, you'd like to thank them. A quick shout out.
Yeah, definitely. My whole crew up in the hill, they're up here with us for the whole week. All my sponsors, Genya Brothers, StarTech, Mental Racewear, Evans Cartage, Smooth Suspension, Rosie's Dry Cleaners, and everybody else that chips in and gets us to all the meetings that we want to go to.
No dramas, mate. We'll let you get back in the pits. Good luck for the rest of the weekend.
Beautiful, mate. Thank you.
Post-race after the last. As we get set for a start, heat 5. Into the main straight they come. Jace Kempton and William Matthew Atkinson down the main straight the first time. Down into turn number 1. Back then in third place, Brooke Ferguson. 3 wide after that, the 75 of Troy Polly, the veteran driver on the outside. As they head down the back straight, Jamie Locke gets a good run as well. They went either side there at the 47 of Aaron Tyler. So they come into the main straight. Out in front, it's Jace Kempton from Western Australia. Brooke Ferguson, the hairdresser from Ballarat, in second place. Matt Atkinson in third. Well, he was. On the inside came Jamie Locke. On the outside came Troy Polly, and back down to the 47th car of Aaron Tyler. Then Peter Bryant, who's in that lead group as well, along with Travis Hutchison from Queensland. So ding-dong battle for the entire field, apart from our leader, who's Jace Kempton from WA, who drives away with at the moment. Down the main straight he goes. And leading them a merry dance. Peter Bryant has almost come to a stop here in the main straight. So head down the back straight. It's Jace Kempton in front from Jamie Locke. One car's gone up in smoke. That's the 47 of Aaron Tyler, and he's OUT out. Back in second place behind Kempton, it is the 43 of Locke, then Ferguson. Fourth place is Troy Polly, then Matt Atkinson in fifth place, and not for the first time. There's a car with the panels hanging off of it, and that's Atkinson. Back in seventh place is 144 John Riley. Behind him is Peter Bryant as they come out of turn 4 once again. Our race leader is Jace Kempton. He's got the back panels hanging off as well. Back in second place is Locke, Ferguson third. Fourth place is the 75 car of Troy Polly. Back in fifth place is 78 of Travis Hutchison. And the inquiry flag is coming, in fact, it's the mechanical defect flag. John Riley has a flat tyre, he's gone. So they move out of turn 4 yet again. Coming up towards the halfway mark, there's 5 down and 7 to go. Out in front, we've got an old side of a car over there on turn number 2. That brings on the yellows. And an untidy start to this race is brought under caution. Kempton, Locke and Ferguson, your top 3, but there's panels everywhere down there in turn number 2. And post-race, we'll get that when we get an opportunity, but as you can imagine, things are rather hectic at the minute. Out of turn 4 they come for this restart. What have we done? 4. We've got 8 to go. Back underway. Jace Kempton is your race leader from Jamie Locke in second place. So head down into turn number 2. Then Brooke Ferguson in third place. Troy Polly fourth. So move down the back straight. Jamie Locke making the moves at the moment. So move into turn number 3. Jamie Locke started out of 8. Comes underneath of Jace Kempton as they come out of turn 4. So Locke takes the lead from Kempton, Ferguson, Polly, Hutchison, Bryant, then Viney, Wilkinson. Oh, and it's Matt Atkinson actually lost the whole side of his car. If he's not careful, he'll lose the back bumper as well. But he's made up another spot. He's got a bunky engine in there after a engine change. So too Mitch Viney had an engine change before this race. So Locke out in front. Then back in second place, it is Jace Kempton from WA. Third place, still Brooke Ferguson, then Troy Polly in fourth. So move out of turn number 2, back then to Travis Hutchison in fifth place. Hutchison, a 33-year-old carpenter, up there in fifth position from Maryborough in Queensland. He started back there in position number 9, so he's made some ground as well. We've got ourselves 5 laps to go, I beg your pardon. Back in front, it's Locke from Kempton, who's right behind him. Back in third place as they move out of turn number 2 is Brooke Ferguson, then Polly and then Hutchison. As the track lights have been brought on at 5:45, the sun doesn't go down for another 2 hours. As they come out of turn number 4 and into the main straight, my goodness gracious, it must be going to go down quick. As they move down the main straight with 4 to go, it's Jamie Locke just in front of Jace Kempton. Well, that's actually thrown me, having the track lights on. They must take about 2 hours to warm up. As they head down into turn number 3, Kempton coming back at Locke. as they come out of 4 into the main straight past the Tasmanian contingent watching this one. It's Locke and Kempton. They're well clear. Back in 3rd place is Ferguson with 3 to run. Hutchison 4th, then back to Polly in 5th, and then Peter Bryant. So move out of turn number 2. It is Jamie Locke just in front from Jace Kempton as they head down the back straight here at the Timmins Speedway. Brooke Ferguson under pressure now from the Queenslander Travis Hutchison, who will move into 3rd place. 2 laps remaining here in heat number 5 of the national title, and they're going to come up on lap traffic in the concluding stages. Jamie Locke by a car length. He led by 0.6 of a second the last time around. Which way would they zig and zag around the 92 car of Nikita Wilson? Locke went the inside. Kempton has gone the outside as they move out of 3 and 4. The white flag is about to come your way. There is the white flag. Apparently the lights are on to help dry the track. Down into turn number 1. Kempton might be back in front. He is. Jace Kempton takes the lead back. Jamie Locke fights back on the inside, and Jamie Locke's back in front. Down the back straight the final time. Around an ailing Troy Polly who's come to a stop. It's Jamie Locke just in front. Jace Kempton in 2nd place. Locke makes the car very wide, and Jamie Locke will win. Oh, no, he won't. The yellow lights have come on. I didn't see any yellow lights, so it's an exciting finish. And that's because we've got a 23 car of Viney up in the gate up there. That's why the yellow lights are on.
Just quickly, Crowie as well. That car that's in 2nd, 105 from Jace Kempton. If you have a look at them last couple of laps when they were Dyson for swapping positions for the lead there, it was starting to boil over. So that car is running hot. And the number 105 from Jace Kempton.
Got drama also on the back straight, Druz, with Troy Polly requiring medical attention by the looks of it as well. So restart to come up. Let's go back to the infield.
Down here with the V128, Brooke Ferguson. She was running up there in the top 3. Brooke, why have you pulled in?
Yeah, I have a feeling we've done an engine this time. It doesn't sound good at all.
That's a big shame. You were really running good there at the front of the pack. Hopefully it's nothing too bad and you guys can get something sorted out for the rest of the meeting.
Yeah, it would have been good to get that 4th. We've got a pretty tough heat starting off the back in the next one, but I don't think we'll get there.
No worries. Just your sponsors, and I know you've got a big crew that travel down here. Give them the time to give them a plug while you got the chance.
Yeah, I've got Dad, Mum, Casey, Nan, Jaden up in the crowd there with Troy Blomley Automotive, Raztech Race Engines, Campton Graphics, and Mildura for putting on this weekend. Thank you.
No worries. All right. Well, hopefully you can get the thing sorted out, and good luck if you can.
Thanks, Charles.
Back up to you in the box, Jason.
Thanks, Jen. Matt Atkinson is in 4th. Green lights come on, we're away. Travis Hutchison missed the start. And he's got a bit of work to do. There's Peter Bryant who's there with him. Matt Atkinson there in 4th place at this stage from Wilkinson and then back to Wilson. White flag comes out though, 1 lap to run. And out in front it's Jamie Locke. Gets the white flag from downstairs. Hutchison 2nd, Bryant 3rd, Jared Wilkinson 4th. And some hip and shoulder work being done down there in turn number 4 on that last occasion with Wilkinson and Atkinson. Checkered flag comes out, spread out like Brown's cows. There's the win though to Jamie Locke. 2nd place will go the way of Hutchison, then Peter Bryant. 4th place will be Wilkinson for the time being. There's debris everywhere down there. Matt Atkinson 5th and Nikita Wilson rounds them out. And rather untidy affair there. It took 16 minutes in all. 1.043 the winning margin. And Jared Wilkinson has been relegated as a result of that pass on lap 11. So Matt Atkinson will be 4th. It'll be Locke, Hutchison, Bryant and Atkinson. Jerome Sutton, the chief steward, working overtime in these early events so far. That's the way we saw it.
Down here with heat winner Jamie Locke. Lockie, mate, you had to work for that one. A few cars dropped out as well.
Yeah, I think we got a bit lucky. A couple of guys dropped out, but we made it to the front pretty quick. So probably lucky we got that stoppage then because the car was getting pretty hot. So it was good.
I was going to say, I can see the temperature's right up, so we won't hold you up. We'll let you get back and get some water on that radiator and cool it down, mate. Good luck for the rest of the weekend.
Thanks, mate.
Territory, Justin Brumfield, position number 6. All about set to go, going clockwise on this occasion. Into the main straight, Hamish McAlpine from a beautiful part of Western Australia leads them down the main straight the first time. McAlpine out in front. On the outside is Greg Parks. Second place now the 46 car of Anthony Bear, and Andy Maxwell Jr. moves into third. Justin Brumfield trying to come through as well. McAlpine will lead out of turn 4 the first time. Bear in second place. Oh, and Parks' car practically stopped. They're 4 and 5 wide here in the main straight. But out in front it's McAlpine. It's Andy Maxwell Jr. who's in trouble in 132, and the car is going to stop, and the official will have to make a decision here. The yellow lights come on. Well, that was helter-skelter here at the start. 4 and 5 wide, one car practically stopped coming out of 4. And Andy Maxwell Jr. gets himself mobile again.
So unfortunately, Justin Brumfield had come to the infield. He knew there was a problem, and there is fuel coming out of the Northern Territory number 5. So that's 2 trips to B&S Earthworks Timber Speedway. Last event out, unfortunately, he hit the wall. This time he's got fuel problems.
No good for Justin Brumfield. Nice guy, but he gets a lot of bad luck. Here we go with the restart. Hamish McAlpine will lead them into the main straight. The green lights are on. They're away and racing down the main straight. Can Hamish McAlpine hold off Anthony Bear for 11 laps? He's going to give it a good crack. Here comes Corey Ball. Remember, the white car in third has come from the very back of the field. Lenny Bates is up to 4th. Matt Maynard goes back to 6th place. McAlpine leads. Bear in 2nd place. 3rd place Ball. Then back to Lenny Bates. Then 154 in 5th place is Morris Ahern. Then Matt Maynard in 6th. 131 is the next car, Jaden Dredge. And then back to Lee Gooding in 101. Then Parks is next. Then Colin Forbes, and the last is Andy Maxwell Jr. Into the main straight. McAlpine still in front. Not anymore, he's not. Anthony Bear has taken the lead down in turn number 1. McAlpine in 2nd place. Back in 3rd place to 77 as Hamish McAlpine spins himself out of the race. Puts himself into the inside retaining wall, if you don't mind. The yellow lights have come on. And we'll have another stoppage. Hopefully after leading the race early, Hamish McAlpine can look on the bright side of life. He's going to have to. Seeing the whole field as they come into the main straight. Race continues. Bear, Bald, Bates, Dredge. Matt Maynard in 5th place. Back then to Morris Ahern behind Maynard. Then Lee Gooding. So head down the back straight. Our race leader is Anthony Bear from Corey Ball from Tasmania. Lenny Bates for Victoria in 3rd, and then Jaden Dredge as they move into the main straight. Back in 5th place is Morris Ahern, then Matt Maynard as they move into turn number 1 and 2. Anthony Bear leads down the back straight. The winner of 4 national titles and 24 state titles, and it looks like he's going to start his title defence for a 3-peat in pretty good fashion. Sorry, not a 3-peat, but a 5-peat if he gets there. First ever to win 5. He's a mile out in front. Lenny Bates has moved to 2nd. Corey Ball back to 3rd. 4th place Jaden Dredge, then Morris Ahern. 6th place is now Andy Maxwell Jr. Then we've got Maxwell Jr. got horribly crossed up. McAlpine had nowhere to go. Maynard comes through. Lee Gooding comes through. So Maxwell Jr. is having a horror start. Out in front though, Anthony Bear will come up with 5 to go. So move out of turn number 4, out of Pitts Bend. Bear leads from Bates. Back in 3rd place, Bald, Dredge, Ahern. 6th place is McAlpine. 7th place at this stage is Andy Maxwell Jr. as he comes back around the outside of Lee Gooding. Then back to Matt Maynard and Greg Parks. Good battle for the minor placings, but our race leader is long gone. He'll come up with 4 to go. Into the main straight in front of this really big crowd here at Timmis. Almost full on the grass banks. Anthony Bear well clear. 2nd place, the 77 of Corey Bald. He's got back around the outside of Lenny Bates, and Dredge has gone around Bates, and so too Morris Ahern. So Lenny Bates has gone from chocolates to boiled lollies there on that lap, 2nd to 5th. Here's our leader through with 3 to go. It's all Anthony Bear, the inquiry flag coming out as well. Let's have a bo peep who that's going to. Bald, Morris Ahern, Dredge, and Annie Maxwell Jr. getting the inquiry flag. Great old battle for the minor placings. Laps ticking by. There'll be 2 to go this time around. And Anthony Bear, it's a walk in the park for him. A stroll in the woods even. As he moves down the main straight, it's all Anthony Bear with 2 to run. 2nd place, it's Corey Bald. Morris Ahern is giving him the hurry up now. Ahern started out of 8, but Bald started out of 12. Back then to Jaden Dredge as Lenny Bates retires with a flat tyre. As now Morris Ahern comes underneath it. Corey Bald takes 2nd place, but they're a long way behind our race leader. Morris Ahern has gone deep into turn 3 and 4. Bald comes back. Here comes Jaden Dredge. It's a great old go for the minor placings. Bald, Ahern and Dredge. You can throw a T-tail over the 3 of them. Then we've got Andy Maxwell Jr. and also, oh, there's trouble. Morris Ahern stopped, and absolutely tearing the side off the car is Andy Maxwell Jr. That wasn't his fault. 154, Morris Ahern has stopped completely and has caused another big pile up. And I was just about to say the 2 cars that got sent to the rear of the field, Andy Maxwell Jr. and Hamish McAlpine, were having a great battle, find themselves involved in a pile up when Morris Ahern stopped over on turn number 2. Well, it's never over till it's over. And Andy Maxwell slammed into Morris Ahern, and then 102 Hamish McAlpine had nowhere to go. And not for the first time tonight, the grassed area has turned into a car park.
Yeah, and Jason, the quickest car out on track is the car that's currently sitting in 4th position. Was your early race leader of Hamish McAlpine. So now he's tagged right on the back of the lead 3 cars with the quickest lap time in this heat race as well.
Yeah, he's going quite well.
We're down here with Oggy Ahern real quick, mate, just before they get this race underway. What's happened to the car?
I don't know, she just locked up coming out of 2, just nothing. It's can't turn the wheels or nothing. I don't know if it's gearbox or diff or something, but yeah, she shut down Ari.
Hopefully you can get the 154 back in the pits, mate. We know you're one to watch and get that thing sorted out and get it out for your next heat.
Yeah, hopefully, mate. We're getting it sorted there, but yeah, we'll see what happens.
Cheers, mate.
Back underway, and the 46 car leads us. 102 Lee Gooding in a bit of trouble. So move, sorry, not Lee Gooding. He's gone into 4th. Hamish McAlpine's the one that's in trouble. He's just going to roll around now and finish this one. White flag comes back out. Anthony Bear out in front. Corey Bald in 2nd place, and then Jaden Dredge in 3rd. Back then to Lee Gooding, then Parks and Hamish McAlpine. But put your glasses down. It's all over. The 46 car is going to come out at turn number 4 and take the win. Anthony Bear, the defending champion, cruises to victory. 2nd home will be that of 77 Corey Bald, Jaden Dredge 3rd. Back then to Lee Gooding in 101. 36 of Greg Parks is 5th. And Hamish McAlpine will limp to the line in 6th. 2.251 was the winning margin. Any consolation, Hamish McAlpine had the quick lap of the race in 19.557, but it's Bear, Bald and Dredge, the top 3 after heat number 6.
Now as he takes the helmet off, make some noise for him, Mildura, your defending champion, Anthony Bear. Barry, mate, good way to start your title defence, no doubt, with the win.
Yeah, no, it definitely helps. I'm not into dirt bikes, but I think I needed one then. It's pretty wild, but we got where we got, and the gutter, hopefully the top comes out better and we'll be right. But definitely to start off with a win, it's a good thing, and there's a lot of cars struggling for points with DNF, so we've just got to keep chipping away and we'll be there somewhere, and hopefully the easy ones out of the way, the next ones are off the back.
No worries, mate. We'll let you get the pink machine back in the pits. Good luck for that title defence, and a good way to kick it off.
No worries, thank you.
Watmore, Forrest, Smith, Humby, Thorne and Heinrich. All about set to go. Heat 7. Green flag on display. They're away and racing. And Roycroft leads them down the main straight the first time. Out of turn number 2, you'll see them 3 wide. And the one widest of all is Nathan Barbler. Moss Buchanan has gone around. We have ourselves a yellow light. And we'll do it again. Let's put to the rear of the field there. We're supposed to be out of 11. Heath Thornton moves up a row. Here we go with the restart. All about set to go. Moss Buchanan will lead them into the main straight. The greens are on, and it's the status quo. Roycroft leads them down the main straight. Evan Wakefield goes around the outside of around the outside of Buchanan. Goes into second, then he stops. He's out of noise. He's on the infield. Great start by Wakefield, and the West Australians can't take a trick. He goes to the infield and joins the retirees from race after race. Out in front, Roycroft out in front. Second place is that of the 44 McClure. Barbler third, Forrest fourth. They're 3 wide at the end of the main straight. Heath Thorne moves into fifth. Moss Buchanan was momentarily going to go through the concrete wall, and further back we've got 1 around. Lee Harrison in 32 is the car involved. It's in the yellow car. He comes back on the track now, but the caution lights are on. And we'll have another stoppage. The suspect, Brock downstairs, about to give them the green flag. There it is. They're away and racing. Heat 7 of the national title back underway. And it's Shane Roycroft out in front from McClure. Sean McClure, he's under pressure though from Forrest and also Nathan Barbler. Barbler immediately is passed by Darren Forrest. Back then to Moss Buchanan and Heath Thorne as they move out of Pitts Bend and in the main straight. Roycroft in front. Then back to Forrest in second place. Barbler third. McClure, Thorne. Then back to Reese Heinrich in sixth place. Then Watmore is seventh. Moss Buchanan is next as they move down into turn 2. Then back to Robert Smith and Lee Harrison. Timothy Humby's in that back group as well. Roycroft out in front though. Darren Forrest in second place. Third place is the 8 car of Barbler. McClure fourth, then Heath Thorne. Sixth place is the former national champion Reese Heinrich, who's the New South Wales champion. Back in seventh place is Chris Watmore in car number 142 as they move down the back straight. Our leaders are in the main straight, and it's the 82 of Shane Roycroft showing them the way at the moment. Darren Forrest in second place. Now Darren Forrest started out of position number 8. Roycroft started from position 2. Barbler in third place as they head down the back straight. Barbler resides in Kingaroy in Queensland. He's up there in third as Darren Forrest takes the lead as they move down the main straight, and they have 7 laps to go. Roycroft tries to fight back. Heath Thorne moves into third place now. Back in fourth place is 111 Reese Heinrich as Barbler went infield, rejoins, but he's lost a bunch of spots as our race leader is now Shane Roycroft. Roycroft back in front. On the outside, Forrest takes back the running as they cross the line. There's a Shandangle over on turn number 2. The green lights have remained on. They go around Moss Buchanan, who's up against the inside retaining wall, and the yellow lights come on. Seat 7. We've still got 7 laps to go. Darren Forrest from Roycroft. Heath Thorne in third place. Reese Heinrich up there in fourth. As they come out of turn 4. Here's the restart. Forrest leads them around the cone. Roycroft in second. Heath Thorne immediately under pressure from the former national champion Reese Heinrich. The current New South Wales champion back in 5th place and going okay, as well as Chris Watmore. Sean McClure under pressure now from Barbler as they move out of Pitts Bend, and Roycroft coming back at Darren Forrest. They move down the main straight. Thorne up wide, high on the track. Heinrich in 4th position. Back in 5th is Watmore, then back in 6th is Barbler, as again Roycroft tries to get underneath Darren Forrest. Forrest leads up into Pitts Bend. Laps ticking by. There'll be 5 to go this time around as they come into the main straight. Our race leader, Darren Forrest, by 2 car lengths on Roycroft. 2 car lengths to Thorne. A car length back then to Reese Heinrich. Chris Watmore got super sideways right in front of Nathan Barbler. Great evasive driving. Back then in 7th is McClure. As they come out of Pitts Bend again, Forrest still in front. Into the main drag. 2nd place, Roycroft is under pressure from the youngster Heath Thorne. Back in 4th place is 111 in Reese Heinrich. Thorne tries to come underneath the Roycroft. Roycroft able to slide back around the outside. So come up into the top turn. They'll come out of Pitts Bend. There'll be 3 laps to go this time around. It's Darren Forrest in front. Roycroft using all of the racetrack. Thorne in third. Heinrich fourth. Watmore in fifth position. Back then in 6 is Barbara. And Moss Buchanan, not for the first time, has spun down there in turn 3 and 4. Oh, sorry, 1 and 2. And he'll rejoin. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, here's our leaders coming past. 2 to go. Forrest, Roycroft, Thorne, and the 111 of Reese Heinrich. The white and checkered flags to come. Now Lee Harrison is just ahead of the lead cars. So head down the back straight for the second last time. White flag being prepared downstairs. It's Forrest out in front. Gets underneath of Lee Harrison. Roycroft coming back. Back then to Thorne in third, and then back to Reese Heinrich in fourth place. Down into the final lap. Roycroft looking for a way through on Darren Forrest, who has tried to screw it down tight. Heath Thorne spins himself out down there, has to continue on. So head down into turn 3 and 4 the final time. Darren Forrest is trying to stay on the curb. He's going to do so, and he's going to hang on only just. Forrest, Roycroft. Back then in third is 111 of Reese Heinrich. Watmore fourth. Fifth goes to Barbara. Nathan Thorne back there in, Heath Thorne back there in sixth. Then McClure, Humby, Harrison and Moss Buchanan. No time for the race due to the stoppage. 0.237 the winning margin. And 19.924 the quick lap by Shane Roycroft. He finishes second to Darren Forrest, while Reese Heinrich rounded out the top 3.
How about you make some noise for your heat race winner, Darren Forrest? Darren, mate, last year Murray Bridge SA title, you were top on points after night 1, but that must feel pretty good taking a heat win in the Australian title first time out.
Yeah, no, pretty happy about that. Don't get to win heats and Aussie titles very often, so yeah, pretty stoked about it, yeah.
Just from here, mate, it seems like the track might be a bit heavy underfoot.
Yeah, it's rough as guts, to be honest. Yeah, I was getting up in the air a fair bit, but yeah, no, same for everyone.
That's it, mate. Just sponsors you'd like to thank for jumping on board your campaign for the Mental Raceway Australian title.
Yeah, look, my sponsors speak for themselves. Raz and Penrite, Bronius Hobars, look, everything on my car's good, so if you want something that's good, use what's on my car.
No worries, man. We'll let you get back in the pits, get checked over, and good luck for the rest of the weekend.
Thank you.
The WA champion Jack Barnwell on the outside of Kate Cox as they enter the main straight, going the traditional way. They bounce their way into the main straight, back to Chris Hay in third. Colin Peaton, the farmer from New South Wales, in fourth place. Trying to come through there, it wasn't going to work, was Nigel Reichstein. Gets through now. Oh, 2 cars in the fence. They bounce off the wall. The last one of those to bounce off was Brock Atkins in 141, the former national junior sedan champion. Won in 2015. Out in front though, it's the West Australian champion. Brock Atkins has got some damage to the front end of that car. The steering won't last the distance, I wouldn't suspect. And he's coming up against the other car who was involved in that incident, which was the 85 of Michael Hume. So Jack Barnwell, the WA champion, out in front. Cade Cox's car's on the smoke. Back there in second place, Nigel Reichstein is there in third, then Hayes in fourth. Then we go back to the 42 car in fifth place, which is Chris Hay. They start to spread themselves out. Back in sixth place is Daniel Druitt in 26th, and Paul Joss, Colin Peaton. After that we have ourselves Scott Seacombe and Andrew Norton, and the 141 of Brock Atkins retires, and he'll join the other car that was involved in that early incident, the 85 car of Michael Hume on the infield. Into the main straight, Jack Barnwell leads. Nigel Reichstein straightens himself up after he hits the fence. Back in fourth place, it's 65 Paul Hayes, then back to the 42 of Chris Hay. Back in sixth place is Daniel Druitt, but they're a long way behind our race leader as they head out of turn number 2 and into the back straight. Here's our leader, Jack Barnwell from WA, driving a nice steady line at the moment, just cruising around out in front. Back in second place, Cade Cox, and then third place, we've still got Nigel Reichstein. Hayes fourth, Hay fifth, Druitt in sixth. Hay moves out, and going underneath will be the 26 of Druitt to move into fifth place. Laps starting to tick by. In fact, we're at the halfway mark. Cox and Reichstein, the two South Australians, run second and third. Behind them, another South Australian, Paul Hayes, in fourth place as they head out of turn number 2. So Cox in second, back to Reichstein, Hayes, then Druitt, then back then to Chris Hay. Not to be confused with the driver in third place now, fourth place of Paul Hayes. Now moving into second is Reichstein. Cox in third. Cox coming back at Reichstein. Hayes in fourth, and then back then to Dan Druitt, and then Chris Hay, and then Paul Joss. Here's our leader, Jack Barnwell, leading down the main straight with 4 laps to go. Reichstein, Cox and Hayes. They're the next 3 cars, second, third and fourth, the 3 South Aussies. Back then to Daniel Druitt, Chris Hay, and on the outside of him is Paul Joss from Western Australia. Into the main straight, the passing flag comes out on our farmer from New South Wales in Colin Peden. Out in front though, the 16 car of Jack Barnwell has 3 laps to go. The West Australian champion, then leading them a merry dance in this one. Reichstein in second place. Cox and Hayes, as they have been for quite a number of laps now, fighting out for second, third and fourth. Passing flag comes out on car number 3. Yet again, Jack Barnwell is a mile out in front though in the whole scheme of things. Reichstein, Cox, Hayes, and then Dan Druitt's the next car through. Back after that we've got Paul Joss, who's moved into the top 6, then Chris Hay, and then we have our back markers just ahead of the WA champion Jack Barnwell, who gets the white flag. 1 lap to go here at Timmins in heat number 8 of the national title. Reichstein second, Cox third, and Hayes fourth. Daniel Druitt in 5th place as they're every which way but loose for the minor placings. But this has been one of the bigger victories we've seen so far tonight. Bringing home race fans, the West Australian champion Jack Barnwell will take the win. Gets squashed into the fence by another West Australian after it's over, Andrew Norton. Second will go to Reichstein, and then Hayes and Cox. 5th place will be Daniel Druitt, and then back to Paul Joss in 6th. Chris Hay will be 7th, then Andrew Norton will be 8th. 4 minutes 11.473 for the 12 laps. The winning margin was 5.888, and Jack Barnwell had the quick lap at 20.038. He defeats Nigel Reichstein and Paul Hayes in heat number 8.
How about you make some noise for your West Australian champion Jack Barnwell taking a heat race win. Congratulations, mate, a big commanding victory as well.
Thanks, mate. I didn't know what was going on out there. The track's pretty wild. It makes you work for it.
You just set the car up on the top side, mate. Looked like you didn't try to do too much wheel work and just drive around on that right up on the fence.
Yeah, I didn't think I was that high. I didn't think there was much down low, so I had to stick there. While I'm here, a big thanks to all my sponsors that make this work, especially Rag Auto Electrical, Boys Equipment, and the Wakefield family for helping me out to get across here. It makes life a lot bloody easier for these generous people, with these people.
No worries, mate. We'll let you get the car back in the pits. Congratulations on the heat win and good luck for the rest of the weekend.
Thanks, guys.
It looks like we're set to go green, so we'll throw up to Jason Crow.
Thanks, Truss. This is heat number 9. All about set for a dispatch. The green lights are on. They're away. Down the main straight, it's Damon Lyle who will lead them into turn number 1. Out of turn number 2, so Lyle has a handy lead at this early stage as they move down into turn number 2. Hayden Jolly is there as they're starting to come from further back. Mark Jennings is starting to make his presence felt. They're 3 wide as they come into the main straight. Nelson moves into second under green. And also there is Jolly, Brumfield. Robbie Foe's in that lead group. So head down the back straight. Back then to the 2 car of Marty Kelly. On the outside of him is Mark Jennings. Damon Lyle out in front though from Tom Price in Western Australia. Second place is the 64 car of Matt Nelson. Third place is Brendan Green. Back there in 4th position is Sam Brumfield in car number 15. Truck driver from South Australia. Back in 5th place is Robbie Foe, 2-time national champion, followed by another national champion in 6th place, the 121 of Mark Jennings. Then back to Hayden Jolly, who's next. Then Gerard Mabbott in 39. Then the 93 car of Ben Whitehead. Then we go back to Marty Kelly and Jamie Crutchley. Down the back straight they go once again. Our race leader is from Western Australia, Damon Lyle. Second place, the 64 car is Matt Nelson. Here comes a big move on the outside. Green in third place, and on the inside comes Brumfield, but Mark Jennings comes up on the outside. Robbie Foe was back there as well. There's 4 of them fighting for third, fourth, fifth and sixth place. So we go back to our leaders momentarily. There's still 3 wide for that position. The race leader is Damon Lyle, but Matt Nelson starting to close the gap. Back then in third place is Brumfield. Fourth place is Nelson. It's every which way but loose at the moment. It's heavy going. Mark Jennings is there on the outside, and then back to Green in sixth place. Back to our leaders though. It's a good old battle now as Matt Nelson has come up underneath of Damon Lyle as they start to come into the main straight. 6 down and 6 to go. So it's Lyle and Nelson. They're well clear. They're out of the straight before third place of Mark Jennings comes through. Robbie Foe comes through into fourth place. Now Foe come from the back as Nelson has hit the front down the back straight. Damon Lyle had a pretty handy lead a few laps ago. He's gone back to second, so it's Nelson, then Lyle, then Jennings. Fourth place is Robbie Foe, then back to Sam Brumfield. Sixth place would be Brendan Green from Tasmania. Jared Mabbott coming underneath of him. Sam Brumfield's car starting to smoke a little bit. As they move down the back straight, Nelson has the lead. Back in second place, it is Damon Lyle. Back then to Mark Jennings in third place. And further back after that, we've got Robbie Foe. So Jennings won this event in 1995. Brumfield retires the 15 car ahead of Jared Mabbott. On the outside, him is Brendan Green. We've got trouble down here. Have we in turn number 2? No. So the race continues. Our race leader is car number 64. As Robbie Foe goes into the fence up there on turn number 2 and brings on the yellow lights.
Just on that, Crow, if you have a look, well, you probably can't see on the main straight, but if you're on the back straight, you can see on the exit of turn number 4, a big patch of dirt that's been scraped. Foe come out, he grabbed the wall, he tried to get it off, and when he come down the main straight, he grabbed it again. So I would say that there'd be some big front right damage to the number 11 car, your ex-back-to-back Australian champion of Robbie Foe.
Damon Lyle was also on the slow. He was slowing down as well. So he's got a bit of work to do. So Robbie Foe's out. I can see from here the steering doesn't look all that skew-if.
Also the NT15 of Sam Brumfield, unfortunately out of this one as well.
Yeah, Brumfield was... Here we go with the restart. 4 to go. Nelson, Lyle, Jennings, Green, Mabbott. Looks like I think it's Ben Whitehead, the next one through, then Hayden Jolly. Nelson leads them through. Damon Lyle's got out of the way. Obviously got mechanical problems with the 29 car. Green comes underneath of Damon Lyle as well. Now, the 1-2-1 car in second place. Mark Jennings started out of position 10. He's out after Matt Nelson, Green, Lyle, Mabbott, Whitehead and Jolly. So move out of turn number 2. Jennings is closing the gap. Nelson still your race leader. There'll be 2 to go this time around. Well, the wily old veteran who won this event way back in 1995 is going to make Matt Nelson fight it right to the death. Here's the challenging pack. Green, Mabbott, Damon Lyle and Aileen Carr still in 5th place. And Jolly is back in that group as well. Down the back straight, Matt Nelson still in front. White flag being prepared, a lap to go. So come into the main straight. There's the white flag on display. Nelson and Jennings. Tremendous battle for 3rd place. So move down the main straight. Green, Mabbott, Whitehead, Jolly and Lyon. Down the back straight the final time. Checker flag being prepared. And the win is going to go to Matt Nelson. Matt Nelson first across the line in car number 64. A flat tyre for Mark Jennings, but he's going to hang on for 2nd place. 3rd place will go the way of 146 Brendan Green, Mabbott, Jolly, Whitehead and Damon Lyle. Back then to Marty Kelly and Jamie Crutchley. No time for the race due to the stoppage. 4.221 the winning margin. The quick lap was at 20.055 by Damon Lyle, but it meant nothing to him in the end. Matt Nelson was the winner, Mark Jennings 2nd and Brendan Green 3rd.
How about you put your hands in the gear, bang them together. Heat race winner Matt Nelson. Nello, mate, good way to kick off the title.
Yeah, that was good. A few laps at the start, going health weather on the top, thinking it's not good for tyres. I thought play it safe, right on the bottom and just see how we go, and worked out in the end.
No worries, mate. You're all running the modified today, and what's to go with coming back to street stock racing, mate? You love it?
I love driving. It's just get out there, get in the car, do as much racing I can, and mum and dad take me around everywhere. I think a couple of weeks from now, I'm going to be up in Toowoomba racing the modified again, and just hopefully get the engine back to that off Brian Gully this weekend, and yeah, it should be all good.
Cheers, mate. A good way to start it off, and good luck for the rest of the weekend.
Thank you very much.
To go for a start once again. This is heat number 10. Away and racing. So Barker leads down the main straight from Buchanan. Ricky Throckmorton and Casey Staker. Further back to Burgoyne in 5th place as they head down the back straight the first time. So Craig Buchanan is your race leader from South Australia. Casey Staker coming up on the outside of Ben Barker. Ricky Throckmorton in that group as well. Back there in 5th place, it's anybody's guess at this point. They're 3 wide. On the outside of those is Jaden Blomley. So head down the back straight once again. Our race leader from Murray Bridge is car number 97, Craig Buchanan. Barker in 2nd. Then back in 3rd place is Ricky Throckmorton. 4th place is Casey Staker, and then back in 5th is Blomley. 6th place at this point in time would be that of Aaron Bunton, then David Barry. We've got trouble on the back straight. And Ben Barker has been spun around. Out come the caution lights. And we've got ourselves a stoppage. So Craig Buchanan will lead them into the main straight. Here we go with the restart. Still a little way to go yet. Green lights back on. They're away and racing. Ricky Throckmorton in 2nd place. Behind Buchanan. Then Casey Staker in 3rd place. So move out at turn number 2. Throckmorton takes the lead. Staker back there in 3rd place. Lives in Broken Hill. As they move out at turn number 4 into the main straight. Craig Buchanan comes back on Throckmorton. Staker is there along with Blomley. That's Jaden. Then the 84 cars there with them, which is moving out at turn number 2. They're 3 wide for 3rd place, and a great split between them. And David Barry moves into 3rd place. So they come out of Pitts Bend. Throckmorton just in front. Craig Buchanan in 2nd place. David Barry high on the track, rounding them up. Jaden Blomley's in there along with Casey Staker. As they head out at turn number 2, this is pretty hotly contested behind our race leader. Back there in 6th place is Aaron Bunton as they head down the back straight. Back then to Andrew Burgoyne and Jaden Edwards. Into the main straight with 7 laps to go. And Ricky Throckmorton, your race leader. David Barry in 2nd. Jaden Blomley in 3rd. Casey Staker's cars run out of noise. So move out at turn number 2. David Barry has come from position number 11 from the back of the field, and he's up behind Ricky Throckmorton. Out of Pitts Bend they come to complete lap number 6. 6 down and 6 to go, and Throckmorton is now well and truly under pressure. He's on the outside. David Barry on the inside as Casey Staker retires. Jaden Blomley back there in 3rd place. Back in 4th place, Craig Buchanan. And with him is the 38 car of Aaron Bunton. Then back to Andrew Burgoyne. Jaden Edwards is the next one through. Back into the main straight. Throckmorton has gotten clear by a couple of car lengths on David Barry. Jaden Blomley there in 3rd place. Back there in 4th place now is Aaron Bunton, then Craig Buchanan as they run the back straight once again here at Timmis. Andrew Burgoyne then back to Jaden Edwards in 7th place. 8th place Trevor Logan, then Ben Barker, and he's the last car running. Back into the main straight. Big finish coming up here, I feel. 4 to go, and it's Ricky Throckmorton just in front. Back in 2nd place, it's David Barry. Jaden Blomley just about threw himself out of the game. Back there in 4th position is Aaron Bunton. And then in 5th position is Craig Buchanan. Here comes David Barry yet again. Comes underneath the Ricky Throckmorton this time. Throckmorton and Barry cross the line practically together. The margin as they cross the line was 0.046 of a second. Out in front though, sweeping back around the outside is Ricky Throckmorton. Barry there in 2nd place. Blomley 3rd, that's Jaden. And then in 4th place would be Aaron Bunton. Out of Pitts Bend they come again. What a great race this is between these two. On the outside, Throckmorton still in front. David Barry in 2nd with 2 to go. Down into turn number 1. Throckmorton, three-quarter track high, bouncing his way out of turn number 2. Back in second place, David Barry. Third place, Jaden Blomley. Then back to Aaron Bunton, Craig Buchanan and Jaden Edwards. That's the top 6. Throckmorton spun himself out while in the lead. Around the outside now will come David Barry. 1 lap remaining. Well, what a silly thing to do there. Can he make it up in the last lap? As they come out of turn number 2, Throckmorton will be kicking himself down the back straight the final time, and David Barry has come from position number 11 and is going to hold on, or is he? Throckmorton comes back. Throckmorton takes the lead. What a great drive. Throckmorton back to the lead, and Throckmorton wins. David Barry in second place. Well, I put the commentator's curse on 2 of them in a lap. Back in third place is Jaden Edwards. Back then to Aaron Bunton, Craig Buchanan. Jaden Edwards is in 6th place. It was Jaden Blomley 3rd. Back in 7th was Andrew Burgoyne and Trevor Logan. Put your hands together for him. He threw himself out of the race and then took it back. First across the line, Ricky Throckmorton. Second, David Barry. And third across the line is Jaden Blomley.
Yeah, how about you make some noise for your heat race winner, Ricky Throckmorton. A hell of a drive, mate. You threw it away when the white flag came out, but then you pipped him on the same corner.
Yeah, I was kicking myself there, mate. I thought I'd thrown it away, but yeah, got the run down the inside of Dave there. It was a great race. Geez, the racetrack's hard work. Getting thrown around here like riding a bull.
You turn on that, you put together a well-presented car, mate, sponsors and that for getting on board your campaign for this weekend.
Yeah, thanks, mate. I'd like to thank Pamuir Hotel, SC Daniels Auto Parts, Raztec Motorsport, Mental Raceware, Stonyfoot Tractor Wreckers, Campton Graphics and Paisley Cages. And and the guys up on the hill for support me.
You well deserve that heat race, mate. Get back, get some fluids in you, and good luck for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
Thanks very much, Dros. The final qualifying heat of round number 1. All about set to go. The green lights come on. They're away and racing. And Corey Sando leads them down into turn number 1. Brad McClure in second place. Craig Claridge is third. Back in fourth place, Donald Irving as they move out of turn number 2. Jason Jewell 5th. AJ Lawrence in 6th. Darren Giacometti was in 7th. Jason Foe goes underneath of him. So move into the main straight. It's Corey Sando out in front though. Oh, Brad McClure hits the fence here in the main straight. Bounced off a bump in the main straight, and they're all bouncing. In fact, Craig Claridge in third he's just about to hit the inside retaining wall. He's going right back through the field as Jason Jewell moves into third. They're 3 wide into fourth. That's a little bit adventurous, I would have thought. Jason Foe trying to come underneath of AJ Lawrence. Donald Irving is there, also Giacometti and the 66 car in that group as well as they move down into turn number 2. That's Stewie Robinson. As race leader is Corey Sando by a car length over the 24 car of Brad McClure. Back in third place is Jason Jewell. So move down the main straight here. Sando by a car length. Brad McClure bouncing like a pogo stick out of turn number 2. Back in third place, it's Jason Jewell. We've really got a duel on for the lead now between Sando in 22 and McClure in 24. Flat tyre for 57, and he'll have to go to the infield as he got the mechanical defect flag. That's Matthew Lyons. So move down the main straight. Sando just in front. Second place is the 24 of Brad McClure. As they head down the back straight, McClure might have just poked the nose in front. He has. Sando back to second place. So they come out of pits. Ben, the 2-time national champion, has hit the front. Brad McClure leads them down the main straight from Sando. Jason Jewell doesn't have the best presented car now as it gets a big shunt in the back end from the 17 of Jason Foe as they all got crossed up. AJ Lawrence split those 2 drivers up. Back then to Donald Irving, then Darren Giacometti and Stewie Robinson. Further back to Wade Fell and then Terry Hammond as they move into the main straight. Sando is back in front. Sando leads down the main straight. Mechanical defect flag for Craig Claridge. Oh, and he decides to get off the track right in front of 3rd, 4th and 5th place. And Jason Foe and the other car involved is Jason Jewell. Had nowhere to go. The yellow lights will come on and we've got ourselves a stoppage. And now we've got the whole back bumper of someone's car sitting over on turn number 2. Yellow lights, yellow flags and a stoppage in heat race number 11. By Jingos, by Crikeys. It's all happening, including 2 drivers who have won heats tonight. 41 at Darren Forrest and another was West Australian Jack Barnwell, have both been disqualified after winning heat races. So we're back underway with this one. Yep, you heard right, 2 winners have been disqualified. So we're back underway here, and the battle between Sando and McClure continues. Down into turn number 3 and 4. Sando's back in front. McClure on the outside. Sando and McClure having a classic race here. And it's Corey Sando who leads down into turn number 1. Half track high. With him is Brad McClure. AJ Lawrence in 3rd. 4th place is Jason Jewell. Brad McClure tries to come underneath the Sando at the end of the back straight. Had to button off as Sando went low. McClure runs wide. AJ Lawrence has the whole side of his car peeling off. Back then in 4th place, oh, here's more trouble. Jason Jewell right at the finish line with Jason Foe. The yellows are on again. Rest assured the race. Heat 11 about to get back underway. Infield becoming a bit of a car park. 4 cars on there now. Jason Foe the latest of those after their contact with Jason Jewell. There's the restart coming up. Corey Sando out in front. Back in 2nd place, Brad McClure, and AJ Lawrence nearly went through the front door of Brad McClure, who's back in front. Sando hits the fence on the back straight, and AJ Lawrence has come from nowhere, goes up on 2 wheels almost and goes underneath of Sando. So come into the main straight. Sando will fight back on the outside. Lawrence has got the entire side of his car fallen off down here in the main straight. Brad McClure has run wide. Lawrence is back there in 2nd place. Sando's back there in 3rd. Back then to Jason Jewell in 4th place. And the inquiry flag is coming out and it'll be on the 55 car. I've got no doubt about that as they come into the main straight. Sando, yes it is. The 55 car gets the inquiry flag. No doubt about who that went to. It's McClure out in front from Sando. Lawrence is there again as they head down the back straight. And Jason Jewell's car has just about fallen apart by the looks of it. It's come to a stop almost on the back straight as they come out of turn 4. As there's more damage coming off of AJ Lawrence. There's panels everywhere as Jason Jewell's car has stopped on the back straight. The yellows are on, and we've got another stoppage.
Just wait.
All about set to go once again. Out of turn 4 they come. McClure, Sando. And then in 3rd place is the 66 car. So head down into turn number 1 and 2. Stewie Robinson now along with Lawrence and Giacometti. There'll be 2 to go this time around. Brad McClure, the leader. Anybody could still win this. Sando coming back. Lawrence is back underneath of Robinson. Giacometti's there as well. He'll throw a T-tail over the first 5. Lawrence has got underneath of Robinson. Sando tried to go the outside of McClure. Lawrence comes back on the inside of Sando, who's coming underneath of McClure, and Lawrence is coming under McClure as well. White flag is out. We're homeward bound. Big finish coming up to Heat 11. Hold all tickets, so I still reckon. McClure in front. Lawrence spins himself out. Sando into 2nd place. Robinson 3rd. It may end up being an anticlimax at the end, and Brad McClure will prevail. Out of turn 4 the final time. Checkered flag on display, and Brad McClure wins. 2nd is Sando. 3rd place will go the way of Robinson, then Giacometti and Wade Fell. And the last car to complete the distance is Donald Irving. Well, a dramatic old heat, number 11. In fact, 11 dramatic heats, let's be honest. And that is the end of round number 1. It's McClure, Sando and Robinson. 0.933 the winning margin.
As he takes the helmet off, how about you get mental for him, Mildura? He's won this event 2 times here, once in Tasmania. Brad McClure. Brad, great way to kick off Australian title, mate, with a win.
Yeah, that was hard work. But we'll take it. It's all about banking points. Tonight and tomorrow night's a points race to get into the top 50 and then the top 20 and then hopefully the podium. But happy with the start. We've got some good sponsors that get us here. Great family and friends. Everyone that chips in, you know. We haven't got all night, so I won't run through them all, but they all know where they are, and I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
And just quickly, mate, you had a good battle there with one of the local cars, Corey Sando, and Obviously, you prevailed with that, but it was good side-by-side racing, even on a tricky track like that one.
Yeah, I went and seen him before the race, shook his hand, said, look, let's have a good clean race, and look, I'll follow you, but if you make a mistake, I'm going to get you. And he made a little bit of a mistake. We got underneath, got us back, and, you know, ding-dong battle. I mean, that's what you guys pay for out there, so put on a bit of a show and keep you coming back next time.
Cheers, Brad. Well said, mate. Get back in the pits, get this car checked over. There's been a lot of guys getting disqualified for underwear and all that. I can see you've got the Highline Racewear underwear under there, mate. So you'll have no drama, and good luck for the rest of the night.
Yeah, cheers, and I thank Highline for kitting me out, and also to Mental Raceway. I know they're a competition to each other, but every big event like this needs sponsors, so thanks to those two guys.
Cheers, Brad.